So I was message chatting with a friend, a really great person, and she was sort of dealing with a little bit of anxiety and a little feeling of just being off, right? Like just not quite centered. Oh my God, my pug is choking in the background. He's fine, everyone. Yeah. Anyway, what came up was an idea that I had for her to do that I thought might be helpful, because she was saying, you know, as long as I keep busy, I'm okay. And I was sort of trying to convey the notion that you need to also not be busy so that you can give space to whatever the feeling is, whatever the angst is, instead of dismissing it or pretending it doesn't exist, or trying to sort of deflect from it. Sometimes it's a really good idea to actually just allow it to be, and then it doesn't overwhelm you or become that anxiety. You realize that, okay, I'm the space that's able to look at this anxiety and let it be what it is. And then that gives you the opportunity to actually calm yourself. And then you start to feel a little more capable, and that you realize and acknowledge, oh, okay, I can actually get through this with my own ability, my own capability, my own capacity to heal my own self. And sometimes that's tough. So there's this nice kind of in-between space that you can get into where you are busying yourself, but you're also doing it on a sort of more contemplative level. So what I mean by that is this. When we come back to our senses, smell, taste, touch, sight, and hearing. Yes. That allows us to busy ourselves because we're actually doing something, we're touching something, we're smelling something, we're hearing something, we're witnessing something, but also makes us aware that we are the doers of it. So a great place for that is actually indigo. So I recommended to her to go to Starbucks and get herself a cup of coffee, smell the coffee, taste the coffee. We're both coffee lovers, so I know that she would love that. And then walk around indigo and just pick up random books, not books that you're thinking of reading or that you're thinking of giving as a gift, but just a book, a hardcover, heavy, awesome looking book. And when you have that book, feel the texture of the hardcover, feel the binding, open the book up, smell the book, even though people will think you're fucking crazy. Doesn't matter, we don't care. Put your coffee down first, smell the book, sit down and just go through the pages and feel the coolness and the smoothness of the pages. And look at the text, not because you want to read the text, but just for the pure beauty of it being so lined up and how cool words look as a pattern. And just flip through and then feel the air from the flipping on your face. You know, and then look at the illustrations and look at the photos, and then kind of contemplate the amount of work that went into that book and the hours that went into it and the thought and the process and the creativity of it all and how cool that is. And then just like kind of feel the respect for it. And that's bringing you into an understanding and a sort of compassionate, loving, kind outlook. And you tend to, as you're doing this, you kind of forget that you were feeling a little angst or a little off or a little out of place, because it brings you back to your true nature of being a very compassionate, kind, thoughtful person. And then listen to the sounds around you and the hustle and bustle of the store or the actual pages going flop, you know. Close the book. Not super hard, but because people will look at you and go, what are you doing? But just close the book and hear the sound of a book closing. Hear the sound of you putting it back in the shelf. Hear the sound of you pulling another one out, and that as a book comes out from other books, like a vacuum almost, you know, like that sort of kind of sense. And just come back to your senses, and that is literally and figuratively. And I think that that will really help, and it sort of brings you a little more grounding feeling, a little more connection to the world around you, but also to yourself, because it's giving you space. It's giving you space without, oh, I got to read this book, or I've got to go run that errand, or I got to go to the gym, or I got to, I got to busy myself. No, you're calm and you're taking your time, and it's sort of reflective. So I really hope that helps. Keep in mind, if you don't have a car, if you can't get to Indigo, or if the idea of going to a store is just totally not your thing, then hopefully you have books at home. If you don't, then put them on your Christmas list, because every home should have books. And pick up a great big book and just, again, do the same thing, do the same process, go through the same ceremony of that book. Feel the cover, feel the binding, feel the heaviness as you flip the pages open. Look at the beautiful illustrations that the book has. And when you see text, take a look. Recipe books are awesome because they're so laid out so beautifully. So just have a look, and not for the sake of reading, but just for the sake of enjoying your connection to something through your senses. And as you sit in your home, listen to the noises around you. Just be aware and know that they are just sounds. And they exist just like your thoughts exist, just like your anxiety exists, just like your breathing exists. It's all part of the isness of that moment. And when you do that, you open up this space to allow everything to just be, and it doesn't seem quite as scary or overwhelming. So I really hope that helps. Let me know. Let me know if you do it. I'm heading out today to Indigo, and maybe I'll see you there. All right, go have some fun.